KISS is now offering for loan self-recording kits designed so that faculty members can create their own educational video content. Within the self-recording kit, there is a microphone, microphone receiver, webcam for video if desired, connectors, and a USB to XLR converter that allows the microphone to be connected to your computer. In order to capture high-quality audio, the self-recording kit contains a wireless lavalier microphone and the receiver for that same microphone. They look very similar, but it's important to notice the difference in connections. On the microphone, there is a mute switch, as well as the connection for mic line. This will connect to the microphone which you speak into. The microphone receiver, on the other hand, does not have a mute switch, only a single connection labeled AF out. This connection will connect an XLR cable into your computer. A webcam is also included in the self-recording kit, so that faculty members can capture video of themselves to go along with their presentations. The webcam will connect to the computer via a USB cable, and once connected, it will install automatically. The first step is to connect the clip-on microphone to the wireless transmitter. To do so, you plug in to the mic line input and screw the nut to secure the connection. The next step is to connect the XLR cable to the wireless receiver. To do so, take the connector, locate the AF out input on the receiver, plug it in, and tighten the nut to secure the connection. In order to connect the wireless receiver to your computer, you must first connect it to the USB to XLR signal adapter. To do so, take the XLR connection from the receiver and connect it to the input on the signal adapter. Once that connection has been secured, you can plug the USB A to B cable into the other end of the signal adapter and connect the USB cable into your computer. Note that on the signal adapter, there are manual controls for mic gain and volume, although these can also be controlled on the computer itself. Now that you've connected the wireless receiver to your computer, it's time to power on both the receiver and the microphone. To do so, press the buttons on either side of the receiver and open the battery door. Inside, you'll see the on-off button. Press and hold until the LED screen lights up to show that the receiver has turned on. The same can be done on the microphone. Press the buttons on either side, open the battery door, and press and hold the on-off button until the LED screen lights up. Now you're ready to transmit audio to your computer.
Hi there, and welcome to another video in the Kellogg Marketing Analytics series. In this video, we'll talk about how to make basic break-even calculations. Break-evens are one of the simplest measures of financial viability of a marketing decision. They are a starting point estimation of financial viability, since they don't consider issues like cash flow or the time value of money. Nevertheless, they are a frequently used calculation, and one that marketers, consultants, and financial analysts are often expected to do in their heads. So let's take a look. As you may remember, this is the basic structure for a P&L or an income statement. We'll use the concepts of fixed and variable cost to calculate break-evens. Okay, here comes a lot of formulas, but you're going to find that they all conceptually make sense. Total revenue is the average price times the quantity sold. Total cost would be fixed cost plus variable cost. Total variable cost would be the variable cost per unit times the quantity sold. And now we get to the most useful concept here. It's the unit contribution. Think of the unit contribution as one unit's incremental contribution to profit. When you sell one more unit, you earn one more unit's revenue and incur one more unit's variable cost. Since fixed cost doesn't change, you don't see it included in the formula. Now, sometimes it's convenient to think about unit contribution as a ratio rather than an absolute amount per unit. This is known as the contribution margin. The contribution margin is the unit contribution divided by price. It tells us what percentage of incremental sales coming in the door contribute to profit. To calculate it, we take the unit contribution and divide it by price. We might use this if someone told us we had an extra $1 million worth of revenue and wanted to know how much incremental profit we had earned, but told us nothing about how many extra units we had sold. Okay, now we're ready to talk about calculating break-even points. In the graph above, we've put quantity on the x-axis and revenue on the y-axis. Next, we add our total revenue line and our total cost line. Note the revenue starts at 0 because with no sales we have, well, no sales. However, total cost includes both fixed and variable costs, so at no sales we still have fixed costs. The break-even point is the point where total revenue is just enough to cover total cost. This concept gets used in several ways. In a new business, like a pencil business, it might be the point where you've sold enough to cover your cost for the first time. Sometimes break-even is expressed in units, break-even quantity, and sometimes in dollars or another currency, break-even sales. Sometimes it's even expressed in time, months or years until break-even, based on assumptions about how fast the units or sales will come in. Let's look at the formulas and then do a simple example of how to make break-even calculations. As you saw in the graph, we break even at the point where total revenue equals total cost. We can use just a little algebra to derive a formula to solve for break-even quantity or for break-even sales. To calculate the break-even quantity, you just divide the total fixed cost by the unit contribution. If you want break-even sales, divide the total fixed cost by the contribution margin, which you remember was the unit contribution divided by the price. All right, let's do a little tiny consulting project here. Suppose for a moment that a pen manufacturer decides to start producing pencils. In order to get into the business, they have to invest $5,000 for equipment and $2,000 for facilities. Their best estimate of the cost of raw materials is 30 cents per box of pencils, and sales and administrative support will cost them 20 cents per box. If a box of pencils will sell for $1.50, let's try to calculate our break-even quantity and the break-even value in sales. Let's start by organizing the facts we'll need. Total fixed cost is $7,000, $5,000 for equipment and $2,000 for facilities. Our variable cost per unit is 50 cents, covering raw materials and sales support. Now let's figure out our unit contribution. It's price minus variable cost per unit, so that's $1.50 minus 50 cents or $1. I love even numbers. Now the break-even quantity will be easy to find. It's total fixed cost of $7,000 divided by the unit contribution, which was 1. 7,000 over 1 is 7,000, so we have to sell 7,000 boxes of pencils to break even. Now, if you want to calculate break-even sales, multiply the 7,000 boxes by the price, which was $1.50 per box, and we have to sell $10,500 worth of sales to break even. This is a simple example, but enough to demonstrate the idea for you. Okay, that's all on break-evens for now. Hopefully you found this useful, and I'll see you soon.